this undeniable yet unknowable aliveness. It is not an it, as there is no other, no edge, no center, nothing to divide or grasp or understand. Yet it seems to dance us, through us, in us, as us, flood us within and without, and in between, until the banks erode into unfathomable beauty. The tides of this and that crash into the cliffs, the buttresses of assumed knowing, dissolving the homes, the beaches we walked along, trying to peer into the sands, the sea, the endless sky, looking for footprints to follow, for a path to the magic. Our hearts break forever as we fall through our own embrace, leaving only this unspeakable aliveness that feels like love. Sky falls into sky, and there is no sky, nor wings, nor hearts beating, yet all is sky, is love, is nothing at all. And this is indeed wondrous, marvelous beyond belief, that we are imagined, that love is imagined, and that there is no one or thing imagining. Whose words, whose tears, whose love? We are this kaleidoscope of dreams, coloring in the imaginary blank spaces where love exploded and erased all things, including herself. Naked light cascades through rivers of silence, splashing color on the crumbling banks of time and space, where you lay, drowned and spit out from the sea of sorrow. Sky reaches down through winter's starkness and gently illuminates your hand. And as she pulls a blue stone from your heart, you watch forgotten dreams of flying soar through the remnants of memory. Tattered fabric is so beautiful in the wind when there are no prayers attached, and no one weaving wishes for what will never come. Lone crow sings, and there is no answer. Birthed and bathed and drowned simultaneously in the flames of love, all is immersed in the song of no tomorrow. Crescent moon sighs, and her silvery glow pours cold, glimmering shadows into the garden. Cat purrs his warmth into my chest. Life explodes and extinguishes itself simultaneously. Galaxies unwind light and color from their flowing arms and magically appear in our telescopes, kissing our eyes with the wonder of distance, and stars collapsing, buried deep inside our hearts. Our eyes are prisms, are gems, are things that appear to see, but there is no one separate from the seeing, the touching, the feeling, these words, this very thought. Thunder of blood, the tides, the wind, the stars, and worlds crashing softly, the moon slides across the sky. There are no trails, no paths to nowhere, no place where you are or are not. We are but thought dancing through the dream of time and space, without a ground of reality or unreality to rest upon or escape from. This simple, obvious aliveness does not animate things. It is all things as there are no things. There is not one all-encompassing thing called aliveness or emptiness or this. Can you find an edge or outside to what seems to appear? Life just as it is. Can you find someone looking for an edge? Can you step outside of this? Or would that then be this? This without other is simply the dance of life, dreaming of wind and wonder and weaving itself into nothing at all. Tears are echoes of love dancing with her reflection. Words slide off these pages and fly into flowing paintings of liquid wonder. Wings of wind rustle your feathers, and it is a secret language that only you can hear, but never decipher, as this song is singing you. Nothing is hidden, nothing need to be revealed. What life, what love, what beauty is? No one knows, no one can know, as there is no one separate from whatever this is to know, to capture, to grasp, to hold the magic that they are. And that is utterly wonderful and marvelous and unspeakably beautiful. Yet I sing as the singing is what I am. There is no love, yet I love as loving is what I am. The felt sense is that there are no things to be separate or joined, and some say this feels like love, and there is a constant stream of wonderment exploding, and their entire world changes as the thought stream changes, and others who call it dog shit awareness. There are no right or wrong words, and this is expressed so beautifully. Many tongues, many tastes, so many say they laughed, but here there were tears, and they have never stopped. It is as if my heart is an edgeless, warm rain, a deluge of love pouring into love. How wondrous this sourceless beauty, this love without other, this one without two, without one, without none. Wings of wind lose their feathers, their skin, their bones, their flesh, as sky pours through sky. Space soars through space and spacelessness dissolve. Hovering in moon song, we bathe in love's waters, flowing through its own wetness, as the moon and sun and all evaporates, leaving no trace or echo. Yet these swirling kaleidoscopic patterns of light and shadow cast upon the walls of dreams continue to dance, to pirouette through this spaceless space, this emptiness without emptiness, this ephemeral dream of love that never was, nor was not, vanishes into these words that have no substance nor non-substance, as light, as heavy, as the word rain, drowning the very ground of being, the imaginary screen upon which the painting of life dances across. And that screen that was believed to endure is simply a weaving of echoes, of songs that you might have heard somewhere, sometime. But nothing can be heard, no matter how hard you try to return to this love, you cannot, as you have never left. Nothing can be lost or found, as there is no one separate from this which is and is not. This is peace without knowing what peace is. This is love without knowing what love is, as there is nothing that is not love. Why wind, why waves, why does the sky make me cry? Why tears, why smiles, why is this wonderment without questions feel like my heart has an ocean pouring through it? A tsunami of wetness pulled the wet out of water and emptied what I thought of as my heart and my soul, my very existence itself. It flooded and drowned and extinguished my world, and left not even a trace of a song, a melody, a hint or suggestion that there was ever anything other, better, more, or next. This was beyond emptiness, as emptiness is an idea, neither stark nor full, nor okay, nor not okay. And the sun rose again, and the dance began again. Yet it was centerless, edgeless, and utterly devoid of questions, of a sense that there should be this or that, or indeed anything at all. Always home, yet there is no home, and no one to return or leave. Yet it feels somehow like a constant union of what was never apart, a sensual, liquid pirouette without a center, spinning, and always meeting itself, kissing itself. This cannot be understood, as nothing can. All there are more words, more ideas to try to fill in the utter devastating blankness you feel and fear. And no matter how many angles you try to look at this, nothing can be seen lying under these words, or indeed inside them. They are simply words, thought, which seems to spin and erase itself and has no solidity or liquidity outside of the words solid and liquid. And you cannot give up this seeking for meaning, for enlightenment, as you are the seeking. You are the belief that there is something that you can understand, or something, some key that will unlock the prison that you feel you are in. But there is no prison, there is no key, there are no edges or doors to this imagined goal of knowing. And when teachers say, there is simply life happening as it does, you fight, you question, there has to be something more. Maybe you try to stop seeking. You try to relax into just this. But all that is just this, isn't it? This feels like a conundrum from which you cannot escape, and indeed you cannot, as there is no one to escape and no place to go, and no place where you are. There is no other side. And the looking, the insistence that there is an other, that there has to be more, continues to form your imaginary lines. I have no answer to this dilemma. I can only say what it feels like, that there are no answers and the questions may cease. And there may be a feeling of utter, sublime okayness, no matter what seems to appear. Life simply self-arising and self-releasing and never really becoming anything at all. Is this love? Is this magic? Is this a beautiful life? I cannot say, as there is no other life. But yes, it feels like love somehow, and it feels marvelous. And all I can say is I love you, because I do. All separation is imaginary, including all things and events. So the story that there is a wrong or right action or non-action is utterly moot, and this is not a story of meaninglessness, as meaning and meaningless are more stories. That these stories of should and could and other better more next cease is also a story. The beliefs and preferences that form me are not chosen. No one wears them. We are all unique, beautiful stories written with the same words. We are but echoes without a source or time or place to arrive. Yet it seems we soar through each other's hearts and dance for a brief moment through empty chambers where songs are born and twirl in and out of memory. Lost and found images rippling through an ocean of dreams. Belief is no longer believed. It feels like a fairy tale spinning a dream spell, whirling and swirling tales of sorrow and joy, and we are that enchantment, floating without sky or sea or any anchor or purpose or source or destination. Such ease when this which we cannot know what it is, nor long to discover the treasure, as all is a spinning gem. It is not felt to be solid or liquid or anything at all, yet it does feel quite magical. Shimmering reflections flowing through reflections. Life is in focus and out of focus simultaneously. There is no feeling like anyone or the world is broken. It all feels ethereal and real, magically beautiful, floating. But there is no one floating and no ether to float in, like love flowing through love. There is no one under the story, no thing writing it or reading it, nor anyone to whom life is happening, and no one doing or not doing life. When I broke my wrist in a few places after the shift, there was pain, but it was not happening to anyone. And no fear, a wondrous calm, actually. When our last cat died, I sobbed and sobbed and sobbed and sobbed. Yet it felt beautiful. This unutterable peace of no other, better, more, or next. And yet when my loved ones suffer, I love and care for them. Life flows with all feelings, but it is no longer felt that there are separate feelings or anyone separate from them to define them. And the moon hovered on the edge of your world as you slipped into waterfalls of words streaming through liquid moonlight morning. The walls of your dream collapsed into a river of song as you felt your body extending into echoes of rippling light and watched reflections of your face disappearing. And love was nothing more or less than an echo in a canyon of memory, and the sun was simply a reflection that shattered into infinite shards of prismed magnificence, melting into its own warmth and light. Just this, only this, sublimely this, whatever it looks and feels like. And yes, there is no this, but this is all there is. As we are liquid stories, unowned, flowing portraits, as we share our stories, we literally become each other. This is utter rest without a ground to rest upon. Clouds appearing to rest in sky is simply sky in sky without sky. There is no fundamental nature of being. Real and unreal is illusion. Illusion is illusion, empty even of emptiness. Luminescence, free of light, freedom, free of freedom. Wings of morning brush against these empty tears. Elegant tracery of light on light, drifting in motionless flowing as sky suspended in sky, wings without substance or sky in which to soar. Enlightenment is a story, a crystalline void within and without, without substance or nature, like a mirage. A fairy tale dreamt by no one, told by no one, heard by no one. We are the magical dream we seek to discover, to know. Knowing is the dream, familiar and new. Paradise, a page of numbers dissolving into love's indecipherable beauty. She sings herself into this symphony that has no notes nor melody hanging on the staves of time. The fences around freedom were words like freedom. The boundary of love is the word love. I watch your lips move and songs flow, songs of freedom and love and the longing for something you cannot define other than more words, more ideas, more thought, seemingly circling around nothing. And it is all a miracle, this magic of life without other. Simply this very hush, this spontaneous ease, this music of life, of light, of love, of nothing at all, kissing itself, drinking itself through your eyes, flowing in through your reaching out. Sky trembles between dark and light as it falls gently into itself. Time waltzes with itself. Echoes of emptiness mirror this liquid world of sonnets blooming and wilting without time or timelessness. Nothing is caught in the lattice work of thought dreams. You feel your feet dissolve into the ground, dissolving into space as velvet light erases your footfalls, brushing luminescence into a dream without time or space, coloring it all with love. This symphony of life has no notes nor singers. It swoops and swirls without silence or sound, without movement or non-movement. It twirls ancient moonbeams into a tapestry of light and shadow, painting all things with radiant halos of unspeakable magnificence, and melting all and everything again into light without shadow. Psychedelic colors seem to pour through the edges of sound as songs twirl and spin, forming the inside and outside of our hearts with echoes of an ungraspable resonance that simultaneously ruptures and melts the imaginary edges of love. Is this love? Is this madness? Is this anything or nothing at all? No one can say, as there is no other. No banks to rest upon and gaze at the sea. No one separate from the liquid dreamscape to bathe in its supersaturated wetness or swallow the wetness that we are, that all is. There is no source or maker or underlying theme to this dance, no big dream or dreamer, no all encompassing love that has dissolved all things. It's all love. There is no love, nor ground to dance upon, no dancers. Yet here we are in this ballet of love, twirling, swirling, waltzing, slowly, gently melting into one, into two, into one, as two, as none. That this without other is continually self-arising and self-dissolving, that is indeed the beauty we were trying to catch, and that this is a story that still does not catch it, seems even more beautiful. And that beauty is a story is excruciatingly wondrous, and that wonder is ungraspable, is utterly lovely, and that love is an idea spins my bippy. What about yours? And that I am a dream character as real and as unreal as you and tomorrow and love. Tears fall through this naked morning, and the cat yawns, and the transparent light dream ripples and is ripped by the winds of unknowing. And she plucked the petals off the flower one by one, looking for love. As her garden grew, she gathered more and different blossoms, plucking them all and staring at the naked stems. One morning she noticed the petaled softness at her feet, and began to cry and laugh and dance in rainbow raiment, dissolving into the twirling without a center or any edges at all. Tapestry of echoes tumbles and slides through this liquid dreamscape, without a dreamer or painter or background or screen, or time or space or anything or nothing at all. There is no magician who spins this dream spell, yet you are an enchantment, a hologram, a fairy tale of thought, a sourceless reflection without any substance or lack of substance, without emptiness or fullness, empty even of emptiness. Reflections crumble into a dream of lack or fullness, and no hand, no words, no looking will dissolve the imaginary veil between you and understanding or love or enlightenment. Nothing will reveal your true nature or a ground of being, as there is none, and no one to have one. Heart and mind, this and not this, are not different nor the same. Always arising, never arising, always ceasing, never ceasing, purely, nakedly, simply so. And it does indeed feel utterly naked, this love without other. There is no knowing anything or nothing, as there is no one to know or not know, and it is beautiful, and it is wondrous, and is amazing, and it is love. And here I am as real as you and love. And I am this falling in love with you, with love, with this ungraspable aliveness that we are. Galaxy of thought spins filaments of nothing, crashing through the edge of infinity. Time breaks down. Your heart breaks, your body breaks, the world melts into itself. This precious aliveness, excruciatingly beautiful and terrible, and the wondrousness of just this love, just this flowing, insubstantial. The river looks up and sees its own wetness, its own shimmering beauty. Love recognizes itself. We see ourselves in each other, in this dance, in this love, in our shared broken-hearted beauty, and we can say, I love you, and that is enough. River of song, river of moon, river of midnight, river of madness, and the river sings your name, and nothing is heard, nothing is held, not even this magic, not even this love. Would we notice the lightness of no longer feeling like there is an unchanging someone or thing inside this body who has to make her feet dance down the sidewalk if it was not there before, or the end of the belief in other, better, more, and next if there had not been that belief before. How wondrous the story of enlightenment, happening to no one for no reason or non reason, yet somehow some stories include the singing. I feel like a bird before dawn, or the last one at dusk. Sometimes a full on chorus, sometimes a single note. Nothing to say, really, just utter joy in singing, watching these fingers slide across the keys, my turquoise ring on the top of the jumble of my bony fingers, and words magically appearing just like this. Fear and longing for this overwhelming, terrifying beauty and this excruciatingly unbearable love may drown you, consume you and your world. Yet you have never been separate from this boundless ocean of love to be drowned. Somehow this may be realized, and the illusion of separation is seen through and no longer felt. Not that there is an all-encompassing beauty or love, as love and beauty are ideas and only exist in the naming of them, like you. This is the edgelessness you longed to engulf you. There is no question why beauty or why love, but instead, of course, beauty, of course, love. The suspicion that there is no separation looms on the horizon of hope and fear, waiting for a breath that cannot be found or lost, a glimpse of moonlight caught by a smoothness rippling into a dream of moon may crack the edge of infinity, and nothing is left, not even a broken shadow. Wind ripples echo through ancient tides of memory, painting water into a sea of dreams. As stories that have no speaker nor listener merge in this dance of wonder, and before and after are simply echoes that have no resonance, yet are beautiful just the same in their incomprehensible liquid sensuousness. Whirlpools lose their spinning and never were. Echoes lose their sound, and memory cannot trace the meaning or meaninglessness of nothing at all. And love was the goal, but love needed no finding. It was never confined to the words or melody, or the ballet of treetops and wind floating. Love requires no time or space to find itself. It is only the idea of other that stands between you and love, as you and love and other are ideas. There is no other side of love. There is only love without other. Life is intrinsically beautiful in its obvious aliveness. The very fabric of love is life's tattered beauty. Wind sings, and clouds pour through these words, and all is wet. Life's beauty is the gem of death. You cannot dissect the rain with a knife and fork. Imaginary separation is not separate from no separation. Is the dream of enlightenment better than the dream of endarkenment, if better and worse are the dream? Where is the song of your life born? Where does it go? You can feel your heart resonating with the words that sing you as your mouth, your lips, your tongue taste the delicious beauty of the song they sing. Your breath is the wind, your fingertips drink the sky, your limbs flow out into the universe of things, and galaxies spin light into darkness and dark into the light of unsung dreams. All dreams collapse into themselves, beyond the boundary of thought. All horizons, all boundaries cannot withstand these all-consuming flames. Love's brilliant demise burns your flesh, your bones, your very being is born and dies in love's unrelenting fire.